Magnesium is an essential nutrient. It's, I believe, the most important mineral we can take in. And so many Americans are deficient in it. About 60% of Americans don't get their RDA, or the recommended daily allowance, 60%.
Hello, I'm Mary Colbert, and welcome to Dr. Colbert's Divine Health broadcast. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited about this program. I have heard Don for the last month in his research. Mary, listen to this. Mary, did you know this? It's been quite educating, and you're about to hear some things I promise you've never heard. You're going to be the smartest person in your family, the smartest person in your church. This is going to give you so much information, but not just get the information. If you'll do what he is going to share with you, I promise you, your life will only be better for it. We spend hours and hours and hours trying to bring you the most current and up-to-date information, because there's so much information out there that's very confusing. And you're like, one says one thing, one says the other. And Don, he dives in and researches, and he spits out the bones and gets the meat to bring to you what's real. Before we start our program, though, there's just one thing I want to talk about, because we're in the fall season in this program, and we have a new product. And I told Don, I said, I'm going to talk about this because I eat it every morning. It's the best.
You drink it. You don't eat it.
I eat it. I eat it.
You drink.
I eat it.
You
It's
put it in your
our
coffee.
it's our pumpkin spice collagen. Guys, it is so good. I don't have to put any sugar in my coffee. I don't have to put any creamer.
There's no sugar in it either.
And there's no sugar in it. And it is, Don, this has been perfect.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's why
It
we're
really is.
talking
I have it in my coffee too.
Yeah, I put a scoop in my coffee, and that's it. And it is just like pumpkin latte, and it without all the calories and the bad stuff. It tastes so good, and you're getting your collagen. I told Don, I said, I'm most excited about this new product. I got to start off the program.
Well, collagen's great for our joints, our hair, our skin, our nails. I have to cut my fingernails every week because I take the collagen. So that's great. Men don't like it, but women love it.
Well, get you some while it's in stock. You know, it is the time of year for pumpkins. So I want to encourage you, when you support Divine Health, you're supporting what we're doing. And that's how we're able to do what we do and not ask for money and donations. But when you become a partner with Divine Health and our products, you're helping us do and spread the word. And be sure to like this video and share it with your family and your friends. And I'm telling you, you'll be blessed for it. Don, let's get into this show. It's so good. It's going to be such good. How many shows do you think we'll end up doing?
I
with
hope we
this?
can do, well, 2 or 3 probably. But what we're talking about is magnesium. Magnesium is an essential nutrient. It's, I believe, the most important mineral we can take in. And so many Americans are deficient in it. About 60% of Americans don't get their RDA, or the recommended daily allowance, 60%.
Don, that means that over half the people watching right now, Don's going to share with you symptoms.
Well, I don't need to go over some of these symptoms, Mary, because
It's amazing.
muscle spasms, eye twitches, low energy, stress, anxiety, depression, lack of sleep. Those are all some of the functions magnesium does. Just listen to these. Magnesium performs over 300 essential functions in the body. 300, Mary, which includes essential for energy production, essential for ATP. That's our energy currency. We have to have adequate magnesium. And again, about 60% don't take in the magnesium they need. As well as it helps regulate nerve impulses and muscle contractions. And so people that get eye twitches and muscle spasms generally don't have enough magnesium in their diets. That's simple. As well as it helps to regulate blood sugar. A lot of the blood sugar issues, of course, come from eating sugars and processed carbohydrates that spike the sugar, and drinking sodas and fruit juices and things like that, and eating honey. But also low magnesium contributes to insulin resistance. Magnesium helps to reverse insulin resistance with the right diet, which is Beyond Keto. That's my book that I wrote a few years back, Beyond Keto and Ketozone. is a healthy keto diet and a healthy Mediterranean diet that helps one lower their blood sugar. We reverse a lot of
You
diabetes.
know, Don, I don't want you to run over this point because I want to make sure people are understanding what you're saying. I remember back when I started a lot of, playing pickleball, like doing a lot of exercise, because I was putting the weight on and I was frustrated. And some of your research, you were saying to me, you said, you know what, Mary, you need to combine the chelated magnesium. That's going to help you with the belly fat. I was frustrated. I'm like, I want to get rid of this belly fat. And boy, did that work.
It absolutely worked. The magnesium, you start taking our chelated magnesium product
Yeah,
there,
I did.
and it
And I,
helps.
I wasn't doing this regularly. And so when I started doing it regularly, I noticed a shift.
Well, it lowers blood sugar. It helps to reverse insulin resistance. It works on tyrosine kinase, this enzyme that causes insulin sensitivity. And about 50% of Americans have either prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, and they're insulin resistant. And so it's so simple. But other things magnesium does is important for bone strength. People are taking lots of calcium, but they're not taking near enough magnesium. The standard American diet has about 10 to 1 calcium to magnesium, and we need a 1 to 1 ratio. For example, cheddar cheese has about a 25 to 1 calcium to magnesium ratio. And so many people are not taking in enough magnesium, and that's why we're seeing so much osteoporosis, bone loss. It supports healthy bones. We're going to be talking about it more.
Okay, so what happens is people can be taking one thing that they think is really good to help their bone, but if it's not being offset with the right
You got to have a 1 to 1 ratio, magnesium to
how
calcium.
people are getting this. They
And
don't
see,
get
milk has about a 10 to 1 ratio of calcium and magnesium. Or cheese has a 25 to 1 ratio, ice cream about a 9 to 1 ratio, and yogurt about 11 to 1 ratio of
so
calcium and magnesium.
so
Way too much
it's like
calcium. So we're getting calcium driven into our arteries, and we're developing plaque and calcified plaque in our arteries.
church, I hope you're
And
hearing
it's so
what we're saying.
frustrating to see people go to their doctor and they do these coronary artery calcium score, and they have a lot of calcium deposits in their arteries because you need both magnesium. You need the magnesium to calcium ratio at 1 to 1 ratio, and you need the vitamin K2 that helps to drive that calcium into the bones and takes it out of the arteries, prevents calcification of the arteries. We'll be talking about that more, but just real
Okay.
quick, magnesium helps reduce stress, helps to reduce anxiety. It also helps to produce serotonin that helps us relax, and
Okay.
it promotes relaxing sleep. That's all the things magnesium does, but not only that,
Okay.
it also plays a strong role in our immune system. It has over 300 critical functions. You're not going to get enough in your multivitamin. Most multivitamins only have about 10% of the magnesium you need or less. We need, now here's how much you
This
need.
is the key.
This is the key. You need, males need about 420 milligrams of magnesium a day, and women need 310 to 320 milligrams. Children need 150 to 240 milligrams a day. But teens age 9 to 19 need 350 to 410 milligrams a day.
Okay,
And they're not getting it.
okay, what's happening that I hope people will get this is they're burning up what little magnesium they have with
Stress causes loss of magnesium. Anxiety
lots
causes
of
loss.
exercise for
Yes,
the people that are out there running and doing a
they're
lot
burning their magnesium.
burning their magnesium up. And so they're not getting it replenished at the rate and the ratios that they really have to do.
Yes, and most doctors never check magnesium
Right,
levels.
right.
And if they do check your magnesium, they check the wrong magnesium level. They check the serum magnesium and not the red blood cell magnesium. See, the red blood cell magnesium is the most accurate test of total body magnesium stores.
Wow.
And so this actually tells you what your magnesium has been over the last 4 months, because red blood cells generally last 120 days or 4 months. So that's the most accurate magnesium test. That's the test I run in my office on a regular basis. But the foods that are highest in magnesium, most Americans are not eating. So one of the foods that's high in magnesium is dark chocolate, but it has to be 70% dark chocolate or greater.
Not milk
Not
chocolate.
milk chocolate doesn't work. That's low chocolate. It's only 10% to 45% is milk chocolate. You're not going to get your magnesium there. But 1 ounce of dark chocolate has 64 milligrams of magnesium. Now again, you got to be careful with high sugar or you're going to be losing your magnesium. And also avocados are a high source of magnesium. One avocado has 58 milligrams of magnesium. Now again, men, you need 420 milligrams. Women, you need about 320 milligrams of magnesium. So again, I'm going to show you the foods that's most important. These, you'd have to eat a lot of chocolate or a lot of avocados and you can gain weight with excessive amount. Nuts are a wonderful source of magnesium, but it just so happens that cashews have one of the highest amounts of the nuts. 1 ounce of cashews contains 83 milligrams of magnesium. That's about 20% of the daily value. But the best food for magnesium are pumpkin seeds.
I love that because especially this time of year and with my talking about my pumpkin pie, the roasted, salted pumpkin seeds, I love them and I eat them all the time.
Mary?
You came to me and
Yeah,
said that, I said, "That
that's
explains why
right.
I just naturally crave it." I naturally crave those pumpkin seeds and love
Well,
it.
1 ounce of pumpkin seeds, which is a little over a tablespoon, contains 168 milligrams of magnesium, which is about 40% of our daily value. That's a lot. So I'll have at least, 2 to 3 tablespoons in the evening. That's my snack in the evening, Mary, but
Me
that's
too.
your best source. Now you say, well, what about sesame seeds or sunflower seeds? They're low in magnesium. Sunflower seeds only have about 37 milligrams of magnesium per ounce. That's nothing compared to 168 milligrams with pumpkin seeds.
Well, I know that people generally think of the magnesium, they're gonna get it from nuts, like
Yeah.
pecans,
Well, cashews are the best nut to
cashews,
get your,
but you can
yes.
still get magnesium
Yeah,
from,
pecan, walnut,
walnut,
almonds.
almonds.
Yeah,
I know that people typically think, "Well, yeah." Now what about the
but not
people that
enough.
can't have nuts?
Then
People
again,
that
they're
are
going to need their
sensitive. So they're
pumpkin
gonna
seeds.
be severely deficient.
Usually severely deficient. Yeah.
Yeah.
Legumes or beans like black beans contain 120 milligrams, but that's a whole cup of black beans, as well as leafy greens like collard greens, turnip greens, kale, spinach. But you have to have a whole cup cooked, has 150 milligrams of magnesium. So again, they're high in magnesium, but it also contains oxalic acid that binds the magnesium. Another is whole grains like oats and barley and buckwheat, oatmeal, quinoa. They're great sources of magnesium. Wheat is not a real good source of magnesium because of the fertilizers that it's grown in, and also the glyphosate binds the magnesium. The reason why we see such a huge magnesium deficiency, because we're not eating foods high in magnesium, we're not eating a whole food diet, we're not eating the nuts and seeds and the whole grains and the beans, and because we're eating lots of processed foods. Now, when you process foods, like anything in a box or a bag, that removes most of the magnesium in the processing of the grains and the foods that we eat. Also, foods high in sugar and simple carbohydrates, they actually create excessive insulin activity, and excessive insulin increases the excretion of magnesium in our urine. So when you're eating a lot of sugar, a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of cake and pie and cookies and candies, you're raising your insulin, which is excreting magnesium from your body.
Wow.
Other key cause of magnesium deficiency is antacids, and a lot of people are on antacids, and these actually cause an excretion of magnesium from our bodies. So another,
And when that happens, Don, muscle cramps,
yes, eye
muscle
twitches, muscle
spasms.
spasms,
You know,
twitches.
I know that a few months back, I would, in the middle of the night, if I will like turn over or stretch, all of a sudden my calf muscle would just
Right.
snarl up in my foot. And I mean, it's painful. It is
Mhm.
so painful. And I was like,
I said,
"It
Mary, you
wakes
got
me
low
up."
magnesium.
Yeah, you were like, because I was playing a lot of pickleball and I was working out. I do the elliptical, I do strength training. And so my exercise had just gone through the roof. And next thing you know, I am getting these muscle spasms
In the
in
middle
the
of the night.
middle of the night that are painful. And you were like, You are deficient and, your
Way
knees are
deficient.
way deficient, and when I started doing it, I have not had a single muscle
It's amazing.
spasm in the middle of the night
Now,
since I've been
now,
doing it.
I want to see what your RBC magnesium level is. I'm getting mine checked this week because, again, I've been taking the pumpkin seeds, I've been taking my magnesium. So, again, it should be optimized. And the optimum level of RBC magnesium is a level of 6.0 to 6.5 milligram per deciliter. That's ideal. And so most people don't have normal levels, and they're subnormal.
I think what's gonna be people are gonna find interesting, and we're gonna talk about this because 'cause we're gonna carry this over in a couple of shows, is there are 4 different kinds of magnesium.
No, Mary, they're meant like 10 different kinds.
10! I thought
We have 5 right here.
different magnesium.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
we got magnesium taurate that
that's
helps
the one
muscle
with the
spasm,
muscle spasm.
magnesium glycinate that helps stress and helps one sleep, ionic magnesium that helps those with asthma, with atrial fibrillation. We have magnesium malate that helps those with chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia. It helps boost energy levels. So again, there's different forms of magnesium for different problems.
That folks, that is you need to let that settle in.
Or we have a combo magnesium like our chelated
But that's
magnesium
still
combines. This combines magnesium glycinate, magnesium malate, magnesium citrate for constipation
okay,
with everything. So it kind of blends everything together for those that
but
have
even
multiple needs.
right, but if people have specific symptoms
Yes.
and maybe
They
need
need specific
extra
magnesium.
and we're gonna cover
Sure.
that, and you're gonna know this when we're through, and I think that's really important that you stay with us to get this information because if you snip at it and you go, "Oh, okay, I think alright, I just need magnesium." No, 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 that's not just it. You
We're going to talk about that probably in the next program. I don't know if we'll get to it now,
yeah, probably not,
but different magnesiums for
so
different
stay with us, don't
problems.
leave, we've got so much more information, go ahead.
But why the loss of magnesium? Well, this it's real simple. Americans eat too much sugar. As you eat sugar, carbs, and starches, you lose magnesium, especially refined. Also, excessive caffeine. We are a caffeine-driven society. And so caffeine causes a loss of magnesium in the urine. And we lose more magnesium. The more coffee you
There you
drink,
go.
the more magnesium you're losing.
Wow.
Fluorine, fluoride in toothpaste, fluorine in our water causes it binds magnesium. Also, many medicines contain fluorine, such as statin drugs. They have a fluorine molecule. Antidepressants like Prozac and a lot of the different SSRI antidepressants contain fluorine. So that's Paxil, Prozac, these different types of antidepressants, as well as Celebrex contains fluorine. Fluorine binds magnesium. So a lot of these people don't realize that are on these meds get our muscle cramps, eye twitches, that's low magnesium. They need an RBC magnesium level and they need to be supplementing adequate magnesium because once you get the right dose of magnesium, it turns off those muscle cramps, those muscle spasms, those eye twitches. Those when you get those symptoms, those are signs. It's like a flashing light on your car engine saying, check the engine, check the engine, check the magnesium level. Okay.
And what happens, and you see this, is like, if you're low in a magnesium, you get arterial.
Yes,
Sure.
calcification. We're going to be talking about that. You start to get calcifications in your arteries at younger ages.
Okay.
We're seeing people in their late 40s and 50s with calcified coronary arteries, with soft tissue calcifications. When you get adequate magnesium and adequate vitamin K2, and vitamin K2 is critically important right here. Everyone 50 years of age and older should be on K2. This is super K2, so it's giving you 200 micrograms of K2 per capsule twice a day. I take this twice a day, every day. I never miss it. And magnesium, these two are critical. When you get your magnesium up to normal levels, it prevents calcification in your coronary arteries and throughout all arteries in the body.
You've heard of people losing limbs and toes because their circulation is going down. This is a big cause.
Yes, I saw a chiropractor in my office just
Unreal.
this last week. And he gets x-rays of all of his patients back. He says he cannot believe how many patients that are in their 50s and 60s and especially 70s and 80s, they have calcified aortas. Their aortas, their biggest artery in their body,
That is
and it
terrifying.
runs from the thoracic area all the way to the abdomen, and they get calcified aortas. Those people generally have low magnesium, and their vitamin K2 is very low. When you have vitamin K2, adequate amounts of it, it literally works on this GLA matrix proteins that prevent arterial calcifications, especially when combined with magnesium. But magnesium and calcium need to be on a 1-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium. Most Americans are consuming 10-to-1 ratio of calcium magnesium. They're taking in lots of milk, lots of yogurt, lots of ice cream, lots of cheese. Cheese is the worst. It's a calcium to magnesium ratio of 25-to-1 or higher. So when you're eating that cheese pizza, you're getting a lot of calcium, very low magnesium, and you are asking for arterial calcification. And it usually starts in your 50s, men and women. It starts when you go through menopause, women, and men when you go through andropause and you lose that protection. We don't get enough K2 in our diets. You say, what's K2 in? It's only in a few foods. It's only in like fermented soybeans, natto. Americans don't eat natto, so you're not getting K2. That's why start taking K2 early when you're in your late 40s, early 50s, and prevent arterial calcification and take in more magnesium.
Okay. All right. This is just,
I know it's a lot of
it is so much
but it's so
information.
critical, Mary.
So critical. Do you see the importance of these programs? I hope you do, because you can't get this kind of information from your regular doctors, and you
They don't
cannot
know
get this
this. They don't have
information.
time to learn it.
So that, please share our programs with your friends and families. Tell them that they've got to watch this program. Don, if the thing that's going through my mind, if people that are watching and they're going, okay, I'm starting to lose circulation in my feet, my legs
We
and
can
stuff.
stop that.
Can it?
Absolutely, we can. But here's what we have to
Okay.
do.
Okay.
We've got to change your diet to a plant-based diet. We've got to get you on either a healthy Mediterranean diet. It's simple. It's in this book. I wrote a book a few years back called Beyond Keto. It has the two healthiest diets, I believe, in the world, the healthy keto diet and the healthy Mediterranean diet. These involve a lot of whole foods that are high magnesium foods. Also, this critical, you got to start on certain key nutrients. Two of the most important are right here. The Super K2, which has 200 micrograms of K2 per capsule twice a day, and your chelated magnesium, or you can get another magnesium. I don't care which your magnesium. Just start a magnesium program, start a healthy diet
And
program.
tell them again how much
And
magnesium the women need.
well,
300.
women need at least 310 to 320 milligrams a day. Usually we give you, 1 in the morning, 2 in the evening for women. For men, you take the magnesium 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. For men, they need 420 milligrams of magnesium.
And even teenagers need this.
Absolutely. And then
Teenage-
to prevent calcifications, one of the most important things you can do is taking high phenolic olive oil. I tell people that when you take this high, and I talk about it a lot in this book, Beyond Keto, the high phenolic olive oil actually cleans your arteries, prevents plaque buildup in the arteries. That's one of the most important things we can do, along with high fiber, bringing that cholesterol down. We're going to talk about how magnesium and certain foods lower cholesterol, some as well as almost as well as statin drugs. But again, we're talking about why we lose so much magnesium. Stress causes loss of magnesium. Stress and stress hormones cause the kidneys to lose magnesium. Stress and anxiety, those people that have anxiety, excessive stress, they are spilling magnesium in their urine. They're wasting magnesium. And so again, there's many things that cause low magnesium. Oxalic acid from eating foods, healthy foods, like if you eat too much spinach, too many potatoes, too much cocoa and dark chocolate and tea. Drinking a lot of iced tea. It's full of oxalic acid that binds magnesium and causes magnesium loss.
Wow. And
Or-
you know, because
And tannins. It contains tannins too. That's a double source of lowering magnesium level. The oxalic acid and the tannins cause magnesium loss.
You're explaining to me why I started experiencing these muscle spasms because I'm such an iced
Oh,
tea
sure.
lover.
Iced tea, have a
But iced
double.
tea is a benefit. There's
It does.
benefits.
But
So
too much iced tea will bind that magnesium.
yeah, and so therefore you want to
She
supplement.
loves her tea.
I know, but you can take the
Yes, you can take
offset.
extra magnesium.
Right.
Like
Extra
instead of
magnesium.
310 or 320, you probably
I
need
probably
400, 500.
Yeah, I do about that.
Right,
I do about 4 or 500 magnesium because
Yeah.
I'm very active.
right.
I am not a couch potato. I do not.
The more stress your body's under, the more magnesium you lose.
Yeah.
But Mary, one of the disease, I want to talk about some diseases that we see that are helped tremendously with magnesium.
Yeah.
And one is acid reflux. You know, in acid reflux, most doctors use proton pump inhibitors. These actually can cause our bodies to lose more magnesium. And with the problem with acid reflux, it's usually a big belly. A big belly, just like a pregnant woman, when she gets to be 6 months pregnant, that uterus pushes the stomach up to the diaphragm. They develop hiatal hernia and they lose that valve effect of their lower esophageal sphincter. There's a muscle that connects their stomach to their esophagus called the lower esophageal sphincter. This muscle is heavily influenced by magnesium. And when you have a lot of belly fat, it pushes that stomach up through the diaphragm, and you get a hiatal hernia effect, and you lose that sphincter effect. And also, pregnant women are prone to have low magnesium. That's why they're prone for preeclampsia, and so the magnesium helps prevent preeclampsia.
And
But
now people think of magnesium, they think of stool softener, right?
we're going to talk about that. There's certain magnesiums that are like a magnesium citrate that are wonderful for laxatives. They help you go to the
So
bathroom.
see, there's all kinds of
So we're going to be
magnesium.
talking about those, but we're talking about this lower esophageal sphincter. One of the biggest problems is this lower esophageal sphincter is not working, and it's opening up,
Uh,
and people are getting acid reflux and burning, heartburn, indigestion. And so this magnesium, when you have a magnesium deficiency, it weakens this muscle or the sphincter, and it opens up and spasms and allows acid to come in and cause the reflux symptoms. So when we put patients on certain supplements that help to block the acid that are natural, like DGL, deglycerinated licorice, mastic gum, ginger tea, or old Bob's Red Mill baking soda, just a half teaspoon or a teaspoon. Those are effective along with magnesium in closing the sphincter. Again, you got to lose the belly fat. If you lose the belly fat, it helps tremendously too. And take some of these acid reducing supplements, you can get off these proton pump inhibitors. Because what we're seeing with proton pump inhibitors, it lowers stomach acid, it lowers magnesium, it lowers calcium, it lowers B12. And so a lot of people have low nutrient levels because of these proton pump inhibitors, and they're on them all their life, and they're wondering why they have osteoporosis.
wow, wow, wow. You can see why we're excited about this program of getting so much information to you. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. You've got to stay with us because I'm telling you, we've got one, probably two more shows to give you information. I mean, it is like really important. It's not something you can
It's
overlook.
critical, Mary. I believe the most important mineral we can take in.
The most important,
And you know the most important vitamin?
vitamin D.
And number two, K2.
K2?
K2 because it prevents arterial calcification. That's my 1-2.
Stay with us and we'll be back in just a little bit. Thank you.